What's up, world? My name's Chef Jean-Paul Bourgeois in the Louisiana Cooking Test Kitchen, your authority for all things great out the Bayou State. Today, we're gonna be making shrimp stock. Now, before you go next on that next video, listen to me first. Shrimp stock for almost all of your seafood cooking needs will come in really handy when making beautiful, delicious food. When I grew up, my parents would buy 50, 60, 70 pounds of head-on shrimp, and we would sit together underneath the carport peeling shrimp. A lot of that shrimp, the peeled shrimp, the tails went away to be used for different meals throughout the year, but we always saved the head and shells to make shrimp stock for all those stews, gumbos, soups, sauces, all those wonderful things that we love to make with seafood in the Cajun foodways. So we got some pretty basic ingredients. Got some beautiful 1621 head-on shrimp, carrot, onion, celery, garlic, tomato paste, fennel seed, bay leaf, and black peppers and thyme. This is a basic shrimp stock recipe. You have leeks, use that. If you have fennel, use that. If you have different herbs, put that in there too. All your trimmings from your onion, celery, and carrot, they're gonna be great additions to this stock as well. All right, first things we gotta do is peel the shrimp. Let's get to work. I'm gonna keep all my head and shells in the same bowl and leave my meat aside to where we can use that for other things, maybe a gumbo down the road. Very simply, we're just gonna pinch that head off. We wanna keep all that kind of fat and roe in that head. This shrimp stock is super easy. Once you have the shells and all your celery cut and all your onions and garlic and so on, all your vegetables cut, it just simply goes into the pot and only has about a 2-hour cooking time till you can strain it, cool it, pack it away, and use it for whatever you want. All right, so as we can see, we've peeled our shrimp heads and shells of the body right in this bowl. We can go and just really simply just get it right into your stock pot. Have a few basic ingredients of mirepoix here of onion, celery, carrot, and garlic. Let's just take this big old platter here and we're gonna cut up this celery and onion. Onions in a good 1/4 or 6 chunks. Because this stock only goes for 2 or 3 hours, you want your celery and carrots and onions to be a little bit on the smaller side, so we make sure we maximize the amount of flavor we get from simmering that stock. Take our garlic here. I like to go pretty heavy on garlic when it comes to seafood stocks. I just think the two go together really well. So that's 4 heads, roughly, depending on how much stock you're making. Just simply cut in half like that. Don't worry about those peelings. We have a little thyme bundle that's been tied up with butcher's twine. And I have some small carrots that, again, I'm just gonna cut into smaller rounds so that we can maximize the amount of carrot we're getting out of that stock. Super easy. This is an easy stock to make, especially once you have all the stuff ready to go. Sorry, I meant to put that on the platter. Said I went right into the bowl, into the stock pot. And just like that, we can put the rest of our ingredients in there as well. That's the onion and celery and garlic right in there. That's looking good. By doing this, by making your own stock when it comes to making those seafood gumbos, the shrimp and corn soups, the shrimp stews and so on, game changer. If you're into any of those recipes, making your own shrimp stock is going to level up, go from good to great when it comes to those classic Cajun recipes. A little bit of tomato paste in there, just like that. Some peppercorns, a couple tablespoons. Got a tablespoon of fennel seed. Also like coriander seed in here if you have it. Tablespoon of coriander, a little bit goes a long way when it comes to in this stock, and it really goes really well with shrimp and shrimp heads especially. I like to throw in a couple lemons. A couple lemons to bring up the acid and brightness of that shrimp stock. And then about a half a bottle of white wine. The only other thing we have to do with this is the second most important ingredient after the shrimp is water. And the way we want to really look at it, you want to have like a nice flat, flat space of all your ingredients here. And then we want to just bring that water level just a couple inches above the level of those vegetables. Now, what I like to do is just get that on my hottest burner. Put on high. We really want to get this stock up to a really hard simmer, then lower it down to simmer for about 2 hours. One thing you're going to want to do, as in most Cajun recipes, just add a few bay leaves to that. And this should probably take, 15, 20, maybe 30 minutes to get up to a good simmer. We have only 2 hours of cooking until we're ready to strain this and put it away. All right, as you can see, our stock is coming together beautifully. All those vegetables are wilted. I got this beautiful orange saturated hue coming from all the shrimp fat and that tomato paste and the carrots all doing their thing together. Let's shut this fire off. It's time to strain our stock. And what I like to do is, so there's thyme bundle in this stock. It's been cooking for an hour and a half, 2 hours. What I also like to do is take a little bit of fresh thyme, get it on the bottom of my straining basket like so. And as I pass this stock through the strainer basket and through that thyme, then you just you start to steep that thyme, that fresh thyme into this stock, kind of giving you, contextualizing just a little bit more the herbs that are coming out of this broth. And it's just one of those things where I know I have thyme in the broth and that's been cooking, but I also like having fresh thyme just steeped in this broth by simply passing the broth through it in the basket. It's a nice little trick that with just no effort and just saving a little time to the side, it's a little trick that can add a nice layer of flavor to your finished stock. Just very slowly, simply, gradually removing that stock with a ladle, passing it through that thyme in that basket. Like I said, this can be used for so many different dishes. And it doesn't need to be a shrimp dish. It could be a redfish courgette. It could be a catfish stew. It could be something with lobster or crab or oysters. That shrimp stock is going to really accent those proteins that you're using, whether it's fish or shellfish or crustaceans, bivalves and mollusks. You name it. This is just an all-around good stock to have in your freezer ready to go for all those different recipes. And you've heard me say it before. You can buy stock from the grocery store and it'll make a recipe, but it'll never be as good as this. And just a few simple steps and a couple hours of cooking. Stock is just the foundation of so many recipes that come out of Louisiana. It's important that you don't take it for granted. Use good ingredients, use fresh ingredients. Have these beautiful shrimp, the heads on. If you got the heads on, great. Even if you just have the bodies, no heads on, just the shells, that works well too. That'll still be better than any grocery store stock. All right, that looks pretty good right there. Grab this strainer, just give it a couple little taps. Tap the rest of that stock through. You can even press it a little bit, squeeze it out. Oh, that's okay. We'll fish him out. There you go. You can see just how nice that stock looks, and it smells even better. It's so aromatic with that fresh shrimp and all those herbs and spices happening in there, and guaranteed to level up your cooking with just a simple ingredient like that. Now, what I like to do, I even put this in plastic quart containers. You can put it in mason jars. You can flat pack it like cryovac in a vacuum bag, and that makes it really quick to defrost. I've said this before as well. Go buy some ice cube trays from the grocery store or from wherever, and fill those up with some shrimp stock as well. You can freeze that and wrap it in plastic, and so you just have little portions of shrimp stock to use for different sauces and gravies and accents and so on. The world is your oyster when it comes to this. It's gonna be great with everything, but it's just such a good recipe to have in your freezer waiting for your next meal. All right, that's it for me. My name's Chef Jean Paul, and I am out.